The area of an equilateral triangle is a fundamental theorem of area when studying Euclidean geometry. So we want to go through and derive this formula. The first thing you make sure that you understand is that when you're looking at equilateral triangles, you got 60-degree angles. And hopefully the 60-degree angle is something that makes you excited because we know things about 30, 60, 90-degree triangles. Most importantly, we know when they're in a right triangle, and so in this case we can find the height. Now, the area of any triangle is 1/2 base times height. So we're going to use that formula. In this case, the base we're going to call S. S is the side length, and it just runs from along the bottom there. And so when we calculate ours, we're going to do 1/2 times the side length times whatever the height is. So the key to this problem is going to be determining what the height is. Well, anytime you have an equilateral triangle, and you could go through and prove this, but we won't take the time, this becomes the altitude becomes a perpendicular bisector. So that means this length over here, from here to here, if we call these points A and B, from A to B would be 1/2 S. Now we're looking at a 30, 60, 90-degree triangle where we're given the short leg, and if you know 30, 60, 90-degree angles well, you know that the long leg is just square root of 3 times the short leg. So we're going to get up to this length, we're going to multiply 1/2 S times the square root of 3. And so the height is 1/2 S square root of 3, and so we plug that in here. Now we do some simplifying. The 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. S squared, S times S is S squared, and then times root 3, or what's commonly seen as S squared root 3 over 4. And that is the area of an equilateral triangle. There's one other quick way of getting this if you just want to see it, and that is using the formula for the area of a regular polygon, which is 1/2 apothem times the perimeter. Again, we use S to be side length, and so we already know our perimeter is 3 times S. But we need to go through and find our apothem. Well, this one's a little bit harder because this right here is our 1/2 S again for the same reason, and we're trying to find that length. Well, this time I'm going to have to divide by root 3, which would be equivalent to S over 2 root 3. I'll multiply the top and the bottom by root 3, and I get S root 3 over 6. So here I'm going to multiply in S root 3 over 6. When I multiply the tops and the bottoms together, that gets me S squared times 3 times root 3 all over 12. Cancel out your 3's, and you get the same thing I just got, which is S squared root 3 over 4. Memorizing that formula, knowing for sure that S squared root 3 over 4 gives you the area of an equilateral triangle, where S is the side length, is vitally important to be able to find the area of a lot of different problems in geometry.